Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today's video is a felt spring fairy tutorial for our spring nature table. For those who are new to my channel, my name is Jessie and you're watching Reliable Roots, and I'm so excited that spring is here. And to kick things off, we are starting off decorating our spring nature table with spring fairies. So to get started on this tutorial, I'm just going to be making some balls, and those are going to be the heads of my fairies. Today I'm just making one felt fairy, but I knew that my daughters would want to make their own as well, so that's why I went ahead and made the 3 different heads. And then this is what I'm going to use to wrap around the heads for the skin and for the first part of the body. So I'm just going to tie that tight and wrap it around my head, and then I'm going to get another little piece of wool and wrap it around to really define the head and the neck area. After that, I'm going to be working with some pipe cleaner to make the arms, and this is definitely the most tricky part of making any of these fairies, especially if you're using a very bright colored pipe cleaner like I am. I wish I had a more skin toned pipe cleaner. It might be a little bit easier. So I'm just going to practice wrapping around the pipe cleaner, and I found that it was just easier to take the pipe cleaner off of the body and do this, but I will needle felt it just a little bit to hold it into place. And again, this is just the skin. I'm also going to be putting a shirt on top of this in the same sort of manner, and just wrapping it around and around and around, and just to hold it into place is when I do the needle felting point. So if you are interested in needle felting, just be sure that if you are working with children is that you are supervising them very carefully, because these needles are extremely sharp. But my 7-year-old has worked with it and she's had lots of practice and she does quite well. She loves making these little fairies. So the next thing that I'm going to be doing is wrapping the felt around just to secure the rest of the body, and then I'm going to start working on the shirt in very much the same manner that I made the rest of her skin. And you will see later on that I decided to do something a little bit different with the shirt. I added some green lace, so now would be a good time to do that, but I totally forgot to do that at the beginning, so I added that in at the end, but it still turned out really great. But it might just be easier if you want to make this felt fairy to add it at the beginning. So next I will be wrapping the shirt around, and then I will be working on the dress. I'm going to be making a purple dress for this spring felt fairy, and so I will be using quite a bit of purple felt, and I will also be using another kind of pinkish purple color. All of this felt I got off of Amazon. The link is in the description box below. This felt has actually lasted a really long time. I just bought my second batch of it back around Christmas time, but it's really done very well for us in our homeschool routine. My daughter loves to make all sorts of different felted animals, and even the younger kids can still have a lot of fun with the different colors just by wet felting, which is just using soap and water to make balls and different shapes out of the felt. It's just a really versatile craft I found. So next I'm making the dress, and I put a little sash around her, and then I'm just going to needle felt her shoulders so that that stays in place. So then I will be adding on some yellow hair for her, and I am also getting out the green, and so this green I will be making some different accents around her. Oh, this is when I'm making the ribbon for her arm, so you can see I'm just kind of making it pretty. So for the hair, this is another kind of tricky part. So you can add in a part, which is what I found to be the easiest with needle felting, so that it doesn't look like she has a whole bunch of indentations in her hair. I want to try to make sure it's as smooth as possible. And then I found that it looks really nice if you bring some of the hair from the back part over one of her arms. That I just really enjoy that look. So this is another aspect that I probably should have done earlier, but you can definitely add it later, and I'm not sure what would be easier, honestly, because this was pretty easy to do. So I just opened up her dress and added in a whole bunch of wool felt. So the main point of this is just to be able to get her to stand upright. So if you wanted to put her on a stick, you could do that as well. There's a couple different options. You could hang her from a mobile, but this is just what I did. And I really like how it looks as a dress, that there's like an underneath layer, and then there's the purple layer. And then the final thing that I'm doing is making all the flowers. And this is the really fun part, because you can just use all sorts of different colors, and this is a great way to use up any kind of small scrap pieces of colored felt. And I put some in her hair and all along her dress, and that's about it for this felt fairy. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please be sure to give it a big thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell, and I will see you guys soon. Bye!